name is Nick Gibson, and this whole situation just honestly sucks because it's our senior year, second semester. We're supposed to be having the time of our lives before we all go our separate ways, but we're all stuck at home. And I really miss my friends, and we don't get a prom or graduation or nothing. It really sucks.
It's hard because I can't see my best friends and I can't go out and do anything because everything's closed.
Yeah, I'm just excited for it all to end so we can go to our regular scheduled life, but yeah, thank you.
My name is Christy Pierce. I'm the author of the book, Shut Up, Silence the Negative Thoughts in Your Head, and the mom of 2 college students and 1 teenager. Together with them and 1,000 teenagers, we wrote this book and dedicated it to a family whose son died by suicide. And we launched this ministry that is helping teens and college students all across the country. Right now, the CDC is reporting that 25% of young adults have seriously considered suicide in the pandemic. We already knew pre-pandemic that teen suicide was a crisis, with it being the second leading cause of death for young people aged 10 to 24. With COVID and all the restrictions and stay-at-home orders where kids can't see their friends, they can't go to school, they can't go to church, it's taking a huge toll on their mental health. Drug addiction, alcohol addiction is rising, and it is truly alarming to see the mental health crises happening. Well, it's one thing to talk about these things in statistics. It's another thing to hear from boots on the ground, so to speak, people at ground zero. So I've invited some college students and high school students to tell you what they're seeing now on college campuses.
So I'm Corey. I am a junior at UC Berkeley, and I think a lot of people at Berkeley are typically depressed. It's something they're used to, but because of that, usually they're good at dealing with it. So what I've been concerned about is seeing people fall apart who have good psychiatrists, have good therapist friends. They've done this before, and the pandemic has kind of unraveled a lot of people. I have a friend, I'll call her Jane, who was my freshman year roommate, but we've remained good friends and roommates throughout my time here at Berkeley. And Jane became very depressed. She has a stressed family life, so living at home was really hard for her. Then got to Berkeley and became really suicidal. And long story short, the situation ended up with me at her house, a couple other friends, her locked in a bathroom with a razor saying she was going to kill herself. So we had to call the police to come get her, which they got there and said because she doesn't want to be taken away and the influx of COVID issues, there's nothing we could do for Jane. So thank God she got help. She talked to her psychiatrist, but even with having friends who were there for her on medication, a lot of different resources, she literally came this close to slitting her wrists in the bathroom.
I'm Annie Pierce. I'm 17. I go to the King's Academy in Sunnyvale. I think commonly today, it's so easy just in everyday life, even if you're just feeling a little sad one day or if you're incredibly depressed and are on medication and stuff, it's really easy to just put on a face because sometimes people do have to kind of fake those things. Like, I'm fine because I need to go take my ACT, or I'm fine because I need to go to this soccer tournament or something like that. But this type of an issue, talking about I guess just how disturbing it is to see somebody that dies by suicide that you really did think was perfectly fine. That actually hits really close to home for me because I had a friend, I think 3 weeks ago now, that actually died by suicide that everyone just thought was totally fine. Just one of the happiest people I've ever met. And I grew up with this kid, and he was just always that person that would come into class and have a smile on their face, and you would just never even know that anything was going on.
My name is Tyler. I'm a senior at Aragon High School. I just think that communication is just so important when it comes to these situations because, well, I guess some people tend to suppress what they are really feeling, and that often builds up, and it just doesn't, there just isn't a good outcome as a result of that. So, that's that's kind of like what I've experienced and what I've seen with some of my friends as well. People tend to just kind of, say, well, whatever, and they just put it to the side. But in reality, it just builds up and it just becomes such a huge issue that eventually just, it'll just mess everything up, really.
Hi guys, my name's Kelsey Moser and I will be an intern for New Hope here soon. I've seen since middle school how widespread and traumatic mental illness is in people's lives, whether that be anxiety or depression or anything else like that. I've just seen the way that it can affect every facet of someone's life. And I have seen how, especially when people don't know where to go or who to turn to or a safe place to turn to, there is no way that they can get better, and that is what New Hope does. It reinstills identity into people, and it helps them find resources of where to go, whether that be counseling and therapy or safe people. And I just see such a beautiful example of the love of Jesus and what New Hope is doing, because he saw people where they were at, but he loved them too much to leave them in the dark place.
I'm very thankful to have a new mental health board that is filled with students from Florida all the way through to Hawaii. And they have boldly asked me to ask you to help us in this mission. We know we have a huge mission field. We know we can't do it alone. So would you please pray about partnering with us in some way? There are 3 practical things that you could do to help us. Number 1, we need prayer partners and intercessors. We believe in the power of prayer. If you'd like to be involved in that, you can email me personally, Christy@sayshutup.com. We'd also love to ask you to pass along our website, our social media, to any teen, college student, or a parent, or a youth pastor. There's so many life-saving resources on our Find Help page, and so we'd love to make that available to you and all the friends and people that you know. And lastly, we need financial support. This is a big mission. We want to be faithful, and we're trusting God to provide, and we need help. So any gift, big or small, will help us save lives. It's easy to donate. You can go to our SayShutUp.com donate page, and it's very easy. You can give through PayPal, through a check, or through stock donations. Thank you again for taking time to listen to this important mission. May the Lord bless you and your families and keep you safe.